Good morning, everyone. This is Jennifer Sanchez. You are watching us live on the Wise Morning Coffee Chat show. So, super excited to have our ladies here this morning. And friendly reminder, this is a show about conversation, motivation, and inspiration. So, this is just like if we were having a cup of coffee at a restaurant and we were sitting down and chit chatting, that's the whole logic of this show. Kind of like just an opportunity to hang out, right? So, I'm Jennifer Sanchez, the founder of the Women's Institute of Self Development and Efficacy, WISE for short. Also, mom, wife, three kids. I have little Ariel hair. I know everyone's like, I'm Little Mermaid hair right now. Yes, it is red. Eric was like, am I seeing colors right now? I was like, yes, you are seeing color. That's who I am. Go for it, Maria. Let them know who you are.
Good morning, everybody. I'm so glad to be here and sad that it's the end of June. So it's going to be my last appearance here for a while, but I'm so happy to be here. My name is Maria Paloma. I am a second grade teacher, so I am here during my summer vacation. But I'm also married, a mom. I have three kids. I am a member of the WISE community, so I love being here with this group of ladies. And I'm also a graduate of Cohort 5 coaching program. So I'm very happy to be here. And yeah, happy Monday, everyone.
Oh, and the president of the Fig Factor Foundation, right?
I'm also the president of Faith Factor Foundation. Yes.
I know that's a big deal. So I was like, oh, it happens. We all forget our
I
stuff.
know it is a big deal. It takes up a lot of my time, but it's a great organization. You can look us up at thefigfactor.org. We are a group of women also trying to empower young women between the ages of 12 and 25. We have a mentor program, and we also have scholarships and other workshops throughout the various months. So look for us on social media as well. And thanks for reminding me, Jennifer.
No, no problem. And Erica, can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Sure, my name is Ericca Avila. I'm in the Chicagoland area, born and raised. I embarked on the fashion and beauty industry a few years ago. So I'm with the whole body positivity campaign and self growth, self love, just self taught as well. Just wanted to, bring into a new career, but with confidence. And it took a while to get there because I was coming out of my second divorce. So that was a lot to deal with, but I decided to do it in the public eye. As I was growing, I wanted to see people see me go through the motions, and I wanted to be transparent so that people can know that there's no shame in whatever it is that is out of your control. And the process is going to be a while. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy, but you can accomplish that. You can accomplish anything that you put your mind to.
A-
So,
Amen.
I love
Love
that.
that.
Yes, love
thank
that.
you.
Kudos to you, Erica, for doing what you following your passions, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
And who cares what people say?
Well, people are going to talk. So you might as well be the narrator of your own story.
There you go. Right.
Love that. Love that. So let's go into before we have go into our conversations, let's go into coffee time. So for those that are watching, you can also interact with our show. Make sure you share in the chat what you are drinking with us this morning. So Maria, what are you drinking this morning? So you could share with the viewers.
I'm drinking my usual Kirkland medium roast. However, I have my special cup here. You can see there's four women on here, and this is me and my four sisters.
Oh, that's cute.
And it says here, oh, not always eye to eye, but always heart to heart. So this
Oh,
was one of my pandemic purchases.
oh, that's so
But I bought
cute.
one for each of my sisters last year. And obviously, we don't actually look like this, but I thought it was cute. And so we have a talk about, body shaming, right? And that's the first thing everybody says, you don't look like that. You're not that tall. You're not.
Oh my
But who cares?
goodness.
I just love that, they're arm to arm. And our names are at the bottom. So I purchased one for each of my sisters last year. And so I'm drinking out of that cup today. So
That's Beautiful. And you got the matching jackets is in the
Yes,
cup.
I know. It's cute. They all have jean jackets and oh, and then it says big sister, middle sister, little sister. So it's I just loved it. It's one of those things that came up on social media and I was like, I love it. So I bought it. So
Oh, cute. I love it. I love it. Oh, that's awesome. What are you drinking, Erica?
I have my cup of chamomile tea.
Oh,
So
nice.
before my day starts, I'm like, I'm just gonna sip on my tea and mind my own business today.
nice.
But I have my favorite. I'm obsessed with Alice in Wonderland.
Oh,
And let's see, I'm trying to get the best angle here, but yeah, I'm a vintage freak, and Alice is, the
nice.
queen of not
Oh,
getting anywhere on time. And obviously, I'm always running late. The clock always beats me.
oh, I love that. Alice in
Yeah.
Wonderland.
Cheers and salute, ladies, this
Yes,
morning.
salute.
Cheers. How do you feel about the new Alice in Wonderland movie compared to the old?
Um, I love the picture. I love that they still have her wearing what looks like her traditional dress. They just kind of modernized it, but it was pretty cool. I mean, I'm pretty versatile, so I don't mind change. I'm not a stickler on like things need to stay the way they were. So I'm open to it, but the story's a little different.
Hmm.
It was okay. I can't say that I watched it repeatedly like I did the old one.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes these remakes of the Disney movies kind of, I do get a little like pestered or like, why did they do that? Like,
Yeah,
for me, yeah, yeah. Like
yeah,
Beauty and the Beast was my favorite Disney movie growing up, right?
Mhm.
Like the remake, I was like, it's cool. It was not the same.
Mhm.
Lion King, I'm a Lion King nerd.
Mhm.
So I knew every word in that movie. Like I was able to recite in with my sister The Lion King. So when we watched the remake, like when the words weren't matching, I was like, that's not what they're supposed to say. Yeah, so that's me.
Oh, I love it.
Uh, so well, let's go into and if anyone's watching, just let us know what you're drinking. And say hello, of course. So I'm definitely excited
you
to have
have to wait.
conversation with you.
I'm on the phone.
Um, I'm
Oh,
definitely excited. I know she has a little baby.
yeah, her little baby. Yes.
um, so let's go into lost her. We'll keep talking. So let's talk about coffee time. I know we have our sponsors that we partner with. I know they had an event over the weekend with Ponce Restaurant, who is another member of our community. Cafe Ama Love, they had their coffee there. I know they had like a fundraiser for an artist named Kuka.
Mhm.
Um, and a lot of like different organizations from the Puerto Rican community came together to support her and raise funds. And I know, I think like Borinquen Cakes was there, Cafe Ama Love was there, Ponce Restaurant was there. So definitely I was there in spirit, sharing their their flyer. But um, Cafe Ama Love, that's our coffee sponsor. So they're awesome, strong coffee from Puerto Rico, and their coffee helps support entrepreneurship programs for women and children in Puerto Rico, which is really awesome. So, want to make sure that I promote this organization. And we lost our guest for a second, so when she comes back, um, we'll just go straight into our 4th of July conversation, um and then we'll catch up with her on what she does in fashion and stuff like that, so that'll be exciting. So let us know, Maria, what are your plans for 4th of July, or what do you guys typically do for 4th of July?
Typically every year we would get together at my sister-in-law's house. She was usually the 4th of July host. And then, of course, pandemic hit. We didn't do anything for any holidays like everybody else. But this year we have a wedding.
Oh,
So
nice,
yeah,
on 4th of July.
they're married. They're getting married Saturday, which is July 3rd, and we are considering spending the night because it's up north in I mean it's not that far from our house, but just how late nights go, so we're considering staying up there. um and we're not working. I'm not working that day. My husband's not working that day because I have a part-time job at Benny's, so they're open that day, but I told him I'm not working. I'm taking a day off, spending it with my hubby. So right now it's sort of up in the air what we do the rest of the day. And it tends
Nice.
to be, you know how it tends to be pretty. Beaches are crowded, parks are crowded. So I'm not really sure what we're doing the exact 4th of July. Yeah, no, no, I don't know. We'll be recovering from that wedding. So,
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even thought. We have Angel. Good morning,
morning,
ladies. Good
Angel.
morning, Angel. I'm sure she'll be making some 4th of July pies.
Yeah, looking
um,
forward to that.
well, I mean, I guess everyone has different traditions, right? I know that for years, family, or at least me growing up, 4th of July was at the lake. And I think a lot of people still do the whole going to the lake,
Mhm.
um, whether it's Lake Michigan or any other lake, just being by the beach and barbecuing, I guess the most traditional.
Yeah.
Um, I'm excited this year. We're looking at some camping this year, so I'm considering like we're gonna be camping. So that'll be fun. I haven't gone camping in, oh my God,
Wow.
in a very long time. So
Yeah.
we're looking forward to that.
Yeah. And I live in Morton Grove, which is just a little bit north of Chicago, and they have a fantastic um, fireworks display. I don't think they're having it this year,
Oh,
unfortunately, but we have gone to that a couple years and it is fantastic. Like it's I don't think anybody hears about it, and I shouldn't even tell you because then you guys will be coming up here too. But no, I totally encourage you to check it out. And there's little pockets of cities that do that. I think like Schaumburg or maybe Wheeling, maybe they also have like a really nice 4th of July display. Everybody tends to go, like you said, to the lake and to see that display, the Chicago
yeah.
fireworks. But I also live near the Niles West High School, and there I don't know if it's the high school or somebody that organizes it. They use their parking lot, and people tend to say that that's a nice display too. So that's always
Yeah.
fun. That's always fun too.
Fireworks are always great.
Mhm.
Fireworks, that's one
Yes,
thing. Definitely we gotta see some fireworks, like a fireworks show. We
exactly.
usually we have family close to Foster Beach on the north side.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah.
we love the fireworks. They have their own show by Foster
Oh,
Beach.
wow. Okay.
Right before you get to the beach, they have their own thing. So family we
Okay.
go there.
Mhm.
We've gone to Navy Pier. Navy Pier has their firework
Right.
on the evenings now. I think I didn't, did they do it last year? I know it was COVID, so they might have not done it. Um,
I don't even remember.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. I
I'm gonna
don't.
say no. I'm gonna say no just because they probably didn't want all the crowds out there.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, this is
Right.
the first year that like fireworks are back.
Right.
People are enjoying it. Angel said, "Yes, I will be making pies and cakes."
Yes.
We have Ellie. Good morning, Ellie.
Morning, Ellie.
Um, we have Angel said, Oakland and Evergreen Park each have a great fireworks show. And over the weekend, I was in downtown. There was so many people without masks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I felt like I was in the twilight zone.
Yeah.
Like, and I know like for southern states, and there's a lot of like
Mm-hmm.
other cities that maybe they haven't worn their masks the way we have in Chicago. But I swear, I was like, I almost felt awkward not having a mask on. Like,
Have you not been getting out as
I
much?
have not been getting out. So
Okay.
now that I got out,
Yeah.
I was like, wait,
Yeah.
we don't have what's going on here, right? So it's like it's
Yeah.
news like, oh, we're coming back to like
Yeah.
some type of normal lifestyle like before. So it was nice. It actually was. It
Yeah.
was nice to see people's faces for once. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, we don't look like we're around death. Like I liked it.
Yeah. So, again, I work at Benny's, which is, if you're not familiar with it, it's a huge liquor store. They have them all over the state. But I work up here in Niles. And so when it was first starting to open up, um, we were excited, like, okay, we can take our masks off. And then the protocol for the company went back and said, no, you know what, we're gonna wait because I guess not all municipalities in the state were handling the directive the same way. So some stores were saying yes, it's okay. Some stores were not. So corporate said, you know what, forget it. Everybody go back. So we were like maskless for like hours.
Oh
And then we went
wow.
back. But then a couple weeks later, when the directive came down from I guess it must have been the governor, and Lightfoot or Cook County, I'm not even sure because at this point, who knows what to do, right?
Yeah.
Then they said if you are vaccinated, go ahead and it's up to you. You want to wear it, great. If you don't want to wear it, it's up to you because you're vaccinated. So that's our protocol in the store. But that's the same protocol for customers. So in the beginning, we were like, wait a minute, but we can't ask customers, hey, are you, are you vaccinated? So we kind of like walk around with our fingers crossed and just say, we have faith that people are being honest and they truly are. And let's just, hope that this thing doesn't come back, but it just feels so good to not wear it. And it is still kind of weird because some
It is.
people still are wearing it. And I
It
think it's
is.
just that comfort level, you know. And that's what I've been hearing a lot. Some people are saying some people are just gonna continue wearing it
Yeah. Yeah.
regardless of what the governor or whoever says, that they just feel more comfortable wearing it, and that's completely up to you.
Yeah, and it's me personally. I just like people don't realize. I don't understand the vaccination aspect to it. We're like,
Hmm.
one, yeah, you're breaking HIPAA laws. I think we've had this conversation of
Right.
like, you're not supposed to ask people, are they vaccinated or not? You don't walk around and say, do you have your tetanus shot?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
have your polio shot or your measles shot? Like, that makes no
Right.
sense. You don't go around asking that. Um, so to ask, do you have your COVID shot? At the end of the day, people that have COVID shots can still spread COVID. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
so like
Exactly. I
the
mean,
logic behind
right.
it, maybe it makes you feel a little more comfortable,
Right.
but that don't mean that they're not a carrier. They can't get you
Mhm.
sick.
Right.
So
And that you can still catch it as
you
well.
you could still catch it.
It's just not right. You're not as sick.
Yeah, it's like the flu shot. You still
Exactly.
get the flu when you're on the flu
Right.
shot, right? So it's a little pet peeve, but I get it. I guess for people to have a peace of mind, it makes them feel more comfortable knowing
Yeah.
like, well, people are at least trying to like, not die from it, right? Like, I guess that's the kind of the logic behind it. Or I don't know what the viewers think about that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what other people are thinking. Personally, I'm still washing my hands. I'm not shaking people's hands. I'm not. I wipe my area down. Um, as far as the school, when I go back to teaching in the fall, it'll be interesting what kind of direction they will give us. Because when we went back, we were still in school when they started saying that we didn't have to wear the mask. And they said no, in the school everybody still has to wear their mask. So that was a directive we got from administration. So it'll be interesting to
Mm,
see what happens in the fall. And again, it's not just the mask, it's your entire habit of hygiene, of really truly washing your hands. And when you're constantly touching surfaces, when you go into the store, you touch the door handle. You go into the store, you're touching items. You don't know who else has touched those items.
yep.
Even when you're trying on shoes, you're trying on, you know what I mean?
Clothes.
I'm still bringing, and that's the other thing is like, should I try the clothes on in the dressing room or should I bring them home and try them on? Like it's the same thing, but I don't know what to do.
I know there's some stores that are not letting you try on stuff yet. I
Yes,
know there's some that are still. So yeah, like try it on, bring it home, grab a little ends. Well, what I would do is when I buy clothes, I buy the wipe,
mhm,
not the Clorox one, but the regular one, and just wipe the new clothes with it. I'm too lazy to actually sit there and rewash it. And then if I wash it wrong and it shrinks, I'm gonna be super upset. So I I'd rather get disinfectant wipes and wipe it.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, that's a great question because I was this weekend like really hesitant to touch stuff. Like I
mhm,
was like at least like
yeah,
trying not to touch the railings, trying not to touch like before COVID, I used to in public restrooms, I used to use my foot to flush the
mhm,
toilet. I never liked touching the handle
mhm,
from the beginning, like because I thought, ew, everyone just finished using the bathroom, everyone's touching the same handle to flush the toilet. So I was like, I'm using my foot. I'm not touching that thing. So like the bathroom to me was always like public restrooms were always gross
mhm.
or grossed me out.
Yeah.
Even like washing your hands, like you have to open the thing, you have to touch the door handle. So I would grab napkins and use napkins,
Right,
like,
right.
yeah. So I wonder what people, what cookie or like,
Mm.
maybe for some people it might be like really like, this is what I do, like, because I don't like touching germs, and some people are like, whatever, I could live with germs, right?
Yeah.
I wonder what
Yeah,
people
and
do.
that's the other thing is that we can't live in a germless environment either. We just can't because our body needs to learn to fight them,
Fight the
you
immune
know?
system. Yeah, our
The
immune
immune
system.
system needs to continuously be working. And when you start to live in a sterile environment, well, potentially sterile, when you actually encounter germs, like then you truly get sick from the most minimal thing.
Yeah,
So you can't not live with germs. Like you have to, just so
you.
that your body can get used to it.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. I
just minimize it. Yeah.
Yeah, I read that once where it's like, oh yeah, you need germs. Like, you can't have like 100% sanitized environment,
Yeah.
and especially like with babies, they need to be around germs.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh well, yeah, I don't have to feel like I'm a clean freak. Like I can, like I could deal with some messy stuff, right? It makes you feel less pressured,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
it like super sanitized and everything, right? So we have Erica back, so I see now that
Oh,
she's
good.
back. So,
Yeah.
um, so good morning. I see that we have Yamalet. Jamalet, she said good morning. Angel, we also have right now we have a comment. Oh my god, I just lost the page. Angel, she said, LOL, I think 99% of women use their foot to flush. I use my elbow to lock and unlock the door of the bathroom. Yeah, like I don't want to, I never thought of the elbow, but I don't want to touch anything. So I know this weekend when I was like going around and like walking around, I was like, I don't want to touch nothing. I don't want to touch handles. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, definitely my mindset's a little different now in public places.
Yeah.
Um, so let's go into our next topic. And as you guys are jumping on, let us know what you're drinking if you're drinking anything. But we wanted to talk about body confidence. I thought that was, it's summertime, and we want, I think we're big on like body positivity,
Mhm.
accepting us for who we are. But it's kind of hard too. Like the reality is, sometimes we compare ourselves, right? It's unavoidable. Like it's kind of like, so I guess that's the conversation about body confidence. And you know even people sometimes body shame each other without even realizing it. We were having this conversation a little bit earlier, like me and you, Maria, like not eating enough, right? Like we force our children to eat more, like they're not eating enough. Like, so I don't know, what are your thoughts on body confidence and body positivity?
Yeah. I mean that just starts from such a young age, and you know we don't even realize the things that we might be saying to our children that could then turn into them being so super conscious of their bodies. I mean, I remember, with my kids when they were little, it's like, oh, he hasn't eaten his, and my mom used to say, just leave him, he'll come back and eat when he's hungry.
Yeah.
But you always worry as a parent, like you just said, are they eating enough, are they getting enough nutrition. So I think maybe just in the beginning when they're little tiny toddlers, to allowing that freedom, that they eat as much as they need to, and obviously healthy food, and not overdoing it as well. And I think the issue really gets tricky is that middle school age, those preteens and teen years, where the kids are so super conscious. I mean, I know I was at that age, super duper conscious of, like, what to wear and how do I look in it, and all of that in their groups. um, and I mentioned to Jennifer that I'm reading a book called Wolf Pack. The title is Wolf Pack, and the author is Amy Wambach. She is the U.S. Olympic soccer champion, and it's a very motivational book for teenagers. And she really talks about breaking the rules, like the rules that
Mhm.
are set in, supposedly set in stone, that we should follow because we're girls or because we're boys. And she says, don't, like, make your own rules. But one of the things she does talk about is that growing up, going to a mixed school, boys and girls, and then going to an all girls school for, I believe it was middle school or high school. And she saw how the girls behaved differently when it was all just girls. Like they weren't there. So maybe at lunch they ate everything on their plate versus when they were at the other school, maybe they didn't eat everything on their plate because the boys were there, or they just dressed differently, or they talked differently, they carried themselves differently. And she just noticed that, that why do we have to behave a certain way? Period.
Mm.
And just the one point about the eating came up in that since we were talking about it. But I think that that's true, that we are in a society where we are, brainwashing to thinking that you have to be a certain way, behave a certain way, act a certain way, make decisions a certain way. Like,
Yeah,
Erica was saying earlier, people are going to talk regardless of what you do, you know,
absolutely.
regardless. So you do you, what's best for you, and then, so that you feel good about yourself and your decisions.
Yeah, and it's something like just to even think about, like I was saying earlier, like culturally, I don't know about other cultures, but I know I could talk about our culture, the Mexican Hispanic culture, right? We force our children to overeat, right? And the doctors have told me that too, like let them eat, and family members have said it, like just they eat up until what they can eat, right? Like we don't gotta like shove food down their throat, like let them eat as long as they are happy, they're healthy, they're not, they're fine. I was struggling even with the toddler. Like right now, I have the 1.5 year old, and sometimes I'm like, dang, did she eat enough meat? Am I pureeing this right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I see her eating, she nibbles, and the doctor's like, as long as she gets a little bit, as long as it's only 2 ounces of meat that she needs. Like
Mm-hmm.
when the
Wow.
doctor told me that, I was like, oh, 2 ounces. That's
Wow.
not a lot,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
um, but we have been like our mindset's been
Yeah.
shifted to like we have to eat and overeat. I'm wondering if now this is like, now that we're talking this verbally, like is this survival, right? Is this like a survival thing? Like you got to eat and overeat, and maybe it's been passed down from generation because that's just what we've done for ages, right? Like, and I'm just putting thoughts together, right? I don't know what you think.
Angelica saying. Uh, so we also talked about, Angelica mentioned this right now, that we force our kids to eat. When they're little, we're like, "Ay, qué gordito! Oh, look at chubby cheeks! Oh, look at those little legs!" And then they get older, like, "Oh, mijo, you gotta stop eating." Like, wait a minute, you thought I was so cute a little while ago, right? Because I was chubby. So there's also that disconnect. Like they're very cute when they're chubby, but then all of a sudden it's not cute anymore. So
Yeah, yeah. I think also the way we talk about ourselves, right? Like we are no I know our kids, they're eating and they're, if they're chubby, like in my head I'm like, if they're gonna stretch out, they're gonna hit that
yeah.
age where they're gonna have those growth spurts, and as long as they're active and moving and you put them in activities or take them to the park,
Yeah.
don't keep them on a tablet all day. But I think even the way that we talk about ourselves as moms,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like if we're calling ourselves fat in front of the mirror, like, oh, I'm so fat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't like how, my pants fit over my stomach.
Yeah.
Oh, or we start like picking on our own bodies as adults. Our kids pick that up and they see like, oh, well, mommy talks about herself that way. It's got to be a normal thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think people realize that that's something that I'm trying to program. Like, don't talk about yourself like that in front of your daughters.
Mm-hmm.
As much as you want to be like, I try to say things like, oh, I need to get in shape, or oh, I need to go work out, right? Like, I try not to be like, you're fat, or, like, I try not to be hard on myself because I don't want my girls to pick that up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Mary said, child obesity is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, we mentioned that too. Even that word obese, I was saying to Jennifer, when I go to the doctor and I see that chart that they have where they show your height and your weight and your, male, female, all that stuff. Somebody my height, I'm only 5'1", and my weight, I'm considered obese. And when I see that, I'm like, but I'm not. you know, I don't consider myself obese. I'm like, I consider myself, yeah, I'm overweight and I need to lose a couple pounds. But obese is such a big over, I don't know, just a overpowering word to make you feel bad. And yes, I see what Mary's saying. Child obesity is big, and yeah, when you see little kids that, I mean, that they are very much overweight, like, but why is that? Maybe they are not as active as they should be. They are sitting in front of the tablet or TV or computer too long. That's also not good. But that happens with people who work in offices too. They're
Yeah.
also very, very inactive when they sit in front of a computer, you know. So it's just
Yeah.
a matter of balance, definitely balance. But
Yeah.
Erica's back. Okay.
Yeah, I no, I agree with what you're saying. And I think I've had these conversations with women where, those charts are
Mhm.
based off European standards, are based
Mhm.
off bodies of women of European descent. Us Latinas are not your okay, maybe if we're gonna really break it down and like look at our ancestry and try to figure out how much of in Native American you have and how much of this you have. Okay, maybe we have European blood, but it's kind of difficult when these standards
Mm.
that are for European women are put on minorities
Mhm.
because we might not fit that mold, right?
Exactly.
And
Yes.
and then we're hard on ourselves
Mhm.
because we're like, oh, because Latinas and let's think of Latinas and African American women, we're bigger in the bottoms.
Mhm.
We're just more fuller. We're a little more curvier. It just
Mhm.
sometimes it happens with the tortillas. Like it just happens, right? Like,
Yes.
or for Puerto Ricans, arroz con gandules or whatever you guys eat,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah.
So I guess that's a little harsh sometimes because we're trying to reach these standards that really are unachievable for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I know, Erica, you've been we've been missing you, but I
I've been
wanted to.
having some issues with my phone going in and out because I'm driving, and I apologize for
No,
that.
no worries. So we want to get your idea on what are your thoughts on body confidence, because I know this is the realm that you're always talking about this. You like to model. You're always talking about being body positive. So share a little bit of feedback to us about that.
Sure. So I go around a diverse group, right? And I'm the minority a lot of times in the modeling industry. And I will tell you that culturally, I think Latinas are the hardest on themselves.
Mm.
We are so self critical of ourselves. I mean, I hear women who I know, I compliment them, and this has been since adolescence, at a very young age, right? And we're programmed this way because we're taught this by our mothers and our tías and our abuelas, who are saying, hey, no te comas eso, te vas a poner gorda. Or ya para de comer, ya mira, oh, look at your clothes is
Mhm.
tight on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and we just body shame ourselves and body shame each other. Like, oh, wow. Like
Yes.
you go to the party in the fiesta and everybody's saying, like, oh, ay, miraste? Ay, se puso gorda. Ya no se ve
Yes.
igual.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
so traditional in our culture.
Mhm.
And so that's what we're taught. So a lot of times you get a compliment and you don't know how to receive it.
Mhm.
You're
Mhm.
so humble about it and modest, and you're like, oh, thank you. But I don't think it really sinks in and you really
Mhm.
receive it. And I don't think we're great at being on the receiving end of it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so this is why we lack confidence when we're trying to hide. Don't forget that ideally nobody really wanted you to be in a bikini and a two piece and a swimsuit. We were saying, no enseñas las nalgas, las piernas, es mucho pierna. You know, it's too much. You got to cover up, mija. And it's true, you know, you got to cover up because you don't want to show parts that are private as a young lady or whatever age, you know, you want to be able to be covered up. But there's nothing wrong with being sexy. There's nothing wrong with dressing up and feeling good. And I really have worked around women who are not models, but they're in the fashion and beauty industry. And I'm like, oh, wow, you're gorgeous, you know? And they're like, oh, you're so brave. Everyone sees it as this brave thing. And it does take a lot of courage because I'm putting myself in center stage where people can judge. I am casting for jobs based on judgment. So I'm taking that on head to head. And it's not always easy, but it's necessary. It's necessary for people. Like I said earlier, people are going to criticize you regardless. So you might as well accept yourself for who you are and understand your own beauty with in the inside and the outside, so that no matter what criticism you receive from anybody else, it does not knock you off of your seat. You are the queen of your own table, right? And your own throne. So there's no way I'm going to allow anybody to tell me anything different because I went through that. And I went through that with my family. You know, I don't think my mom realized how harsh she was on us and that she was body shaming until body shaming became a topic. We didn't understand the concept of it because we're just saying like, this is normal conversation. But I remember feeling bad because I invited my mom and my sisters to come eat at my house a couple years back. And I was 45 pounds lighter than what I am now. And now she can't tell me nada. Because I'm going to tell her, hey, I'm owning my body and whatever it is. And if you don't like it, that's on you. But you keep your negative comments to yourself. Because I'm hard on enough on myself. I don't need anybody else to be hard on me. Wow. And I think that we're all like that. I think every woman, no matter what size, no matter what culture, we are all very self-critical of ourselves. And so the thing that we have to realize is that no matter your imperfections, at one point you got to get uncomfortable, being comfortable, and get comfortable with yourself and dress up for your body type. Like she was saying, the European sizes. You just have to learn your body and learn to dress for it, and it'll make the biggest difference in the world.
You know what I love about what you were saying, Ericca? That you got to take a risk. People are going to talk about you no matter what. And I just want to put this disclaimer out there. Like, we love all body shapes, all body sizes. And one of my pet peeves that I hate, and I consider myself more of a curvier woman, right? Or heavier, plumpier, whatever the hell you want to call, right? Like I know fuller, right?
Yeah.
But I don't like when women say real women have curves. It's probably one of my biggest peeves because you are, without realizing it, shaming women who do not have curves.
Right.
And that's like a like microaggressive or microaggression that people don't realize that they're doing when they're like, real women have curves. Like, then what are you saying about women that don't? You're now, other women are feeling less than because you're saying this comment, right? I get it. I get why why people say it, because I get it, because like, oh, maybe because you're fuller, you feel a little bit more insecure. So that helps us with our confidence. But at the same time, you're shaming other women who might feel like, dang, I don't got curves. I'm not curvy. I got, that also is hurtful. And our Hispanic community loves curves. Mm-hmm. We're all about that fuller chick. We're all about that, right? Like, that's cool now. That's trendy.
And then that makes the smaller girls feel like they don't have enough. Yeah. Because like my daughter is very slim and very thin, and at a very young age, her and her friends are like, oh, we want to be thick. How come? And I eat and I try to gain weight. And so that's what I mean. Like every woman, every size goes through some insecurities, because we never feel like we're enough, or if you have straight hair, you want curly hair. You got curly
Mhm.
hair, you want it to be straight. We're never really happy with ourselves because there's all these ideas of beauty that you don't necessarily fit into that category.
That's
Yes.
good. That's good.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier. I think uh, Jennifer and I were talking about just society as a whole has really brainwashed us that whatever you are, you're just not good enough
Right.
because you either have to be curvier when you're not, or you have to be skinnier when you're too curvy. It's like all these mixed messages, you know, and then these young girls grow up exactly what you're saying, when they're small and then they're trying to stuff themselves to get fat, or maybe they're just like, no, I can't eat too much because now I look like I'm eating too much, or I look like I'm doing what I'm not supposed to be doing. And it's really the message we need to be sharing is you just need to be healthy and feel good about yourself. And a lot of times people will say to me, oh, now what diet are you on now? And I'll say, but I'm not on a diet, because we're all on a diet. We all have a diet. What does your diet consist of? My diet consists of healthy food. Maybe
Mm,
your diet consists of burgers and fries. Okay, if that's your choice, that's
And
your
if
diet.
they're not your
Yeah.
doctor, those are invasive questions. Those are personal.
Yeah.
Why do I have to tell you what I ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? ¿Qué
Yeah.
te
Yeah.
importa? Like, so those are some things that for me, I'm like, people need to stop being so invasive
Yes.
with things of that nature and other personal things that they're just so
Yeah.
comfortable with asking and imposing on, and making
Exactly.
us feel uncomfortable with. The reality is like, when someone reflects that negativity on you, it's almost like, hold on, what's going on with you that you're focused on me,
Yeah.
and you want to point out what I got going on wrong, or you're turning into it a negative thing, because if you're on
Yeah.
a diet, why is that negative?
Oh, absolutely. Erica, let me tell you, I did try to shift completely my diet, if you will, because I was having family in my house practically every weekend. And it was the carnitas and the chorizo and it was every weekend. And
Giving
finally
me
my
hungry.
husband my husband and I were like, you know what, I can't, I have to stop doing this. So I would prepare my own thing. I would either make an omelet or just something else. And ahora tú vas a comer eso. You're not gonna eat our food. I'm like, no, you can have some of mine too if you'd like. But it was that it was, and like you said, it was just making me uncomfortable. But at the same, I was like, no, I don't have to eat the same thing you're eating because I choose to not. And it's a choice. And it took a long time for them to realize that it's a choice that I'm making for myself. Like, don't judge me, and I'm not judging you because that's your choice you know but it is a matter of, like, just be respectful of what these individuals want to do with their lives, whatever it may be, and just live a healthy life. Is what I'm trying to instill in my own children and people that I come across. Like, live a healthy life and make it a habit to just exercise, as little as possible or as much as possible. Just get out and move, and whatever healthy means to you, then that's what you need to do.
yeah.
Maybe it's just walking, maybe it's running, maybe it's Zumba, maybe it's just dancing. Like, it doesn't have to be full out Zumba, right? Whatever it may be, but just do something and live a healthy life.
Absolutely. Let me show
But
share these comments. We have Angel. She said, "Yes, I wore a bikini for the first time ever on my 41st birthday trip.
girl,
Woohoo! That's awesome." We also have Mary. She said, "Thank you, Jen." Then women who are not curvy are talked about because they say we don't eat. Yeah, that's definitely, I've seen that as well. Like, and let me share before I go into that conversation. I'm more for being strong so we can fight against health battles. Absolutely. And then we have Bilal Khan High. So I think uh, they're all great points. Everything that we're sharing, it's all about being body confident. I think it is invasive asking people what are they eating, and we should be able to eat whatever we want, in the sense of, like, if you do try to eat healthy, people do shame you even for eating that, because the norm is, society is like, we were just reading that book, right, on the way that we eat, Maria, like 2 3 months ago, I don't remember, but it was like society's always putting fast food, fries, burgers, eat this, eat that. So then when you do say, look, oh, I'd rather just eat a salad, or I just want to eat this, like everyone gives you the side eye, like, you serious? Like, now me being a fuller girl, right? And if I eat a salad, I get the side eye, right? Like, why can't I eat a salad, right? Like, because I'm supposed, what am I supposed to look like for you to believe that I want to eat a salad? That's just my question,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So I think it's interesting. Like you said, Erica, they're gonna talk about you no matter what. Like,
Yep. They are.
and we're too concerned about. So I love this topic because we need to have these conversations. Like, we don't have them enough, and we have all daughters.
Mm-hmm.
We all have daughters, and they're being shaped and seeing how they're supposed to be in the world. And like, I want to talk about fashion, Erica, but in the sense of, fashion is male dominant, right, Erica? Right? It's
Yeah.
so men are creating our outfits, one, which is like the most random,
The
like,
oddest thing, right?
Yeah.
yeah, like, why are you telling me how to dress? One. And again, majority of the fashion industry is European, right? Where are the Latina fashion designers? And maybe you can answer that.
Yeah, I think there's a very few. If I mean, or they're so spread out that I'm not even familiar with who they are and where their clothes is, or even so, it's catered to a very slim body.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not that open to
Mm-hmm.
real bodies and plus size and bigger women. I don't like to say use the word if it's not bigger, because you're bigger, right? But let's not use that word because that's in itself negative and disrespectful. But it's still catering to this stick figure model, and I still see it on the runway all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
it was me and another plus size Latina model one time, and we did a show a couple years back, and we saw some Hispanic designers, and we're like, hey, hi, oh, so nice to meet you. That beautiful garments. Oh, well, when you guys want plus size models, we're Latinas, we'd love to work with you, keep us in mind. And he said, oh yeah, I have a sister who is really big. You guys need to try the diet of agua de fresca.
What?
He put us on a diet.
Oh my god.
He was like,
Oh
start
my god.
drinking that. It burns a lot of fat.
Oh my
Basically
gosh.
saying, you won't fit my clothes. Well, we won't fit the
Mm,
clothes that you have. But, and then when I started to look at how many designers were actually picking plus size, out of about 25 designers, they had about three, maybe four that catered to bigger plus size women, and even their line went up to plus size, so it still catered more to a smaller body type, but then they you know put some plus size in there in the mix of with their stuff. But even sometimes the plus size clothes is made two plus,
mm,
and
yeah.
so you're kind of like, well, this doesn't
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't flatter my body, because they're
Mm,
they're unaware, because maybe like you said, these, like, if it's a man doing it, how are you going to know what makes me feel good, what garment is going to
Mm-hmm.
flatter me? So if this is what I have to express myself fashionably, I want it to be right. And so
Mm-hmm.
we're
wow.
still not comfortable behind the scenes, because we're still not respected in the aspect that we're accepted. So if you're not accepted, you feel left out, and you feel like, gosh, there's still a long way to go for us
Mm,
to be um, normalized, our bodies to be normalized.
yeah. Yeah, that speaks volumes, right, Maria? Like, out of
Yes.
25, only 3.
Please, yeah.
And an average woman is a size 12 in pants. Like, hello, like we're not in the 1950s where everyone was a size 7 or 6, right? Like
Mhm.
the pants have
And then
changed.
you look at the models, and the models were, and nothing against them. It's not their choice. They're just there to model,
Mhm.
but they were very very young. I'm talking
Mhm.
about probably under 18
Right.
to 18 and early,
Yeah.
20s or whatever. But they had figures that were teeny tiny bodies, like size
Mhm.
zeros, right?
Yeah.
Size 0 to
Mm,
size 3. And so you're kind of saying, well, who's gonna get married and be a size 0, size 3? Like, are you doing wedding gowns, or are you doing quinceañeras?
Yeah.
Like, who
mm,
is still in that size once you're past the age of 18 and out of
Right.
high school and moving on? So I get that they don't want to spend a lot of money, or it costs them a lot of money to make a fabric and a garment with that much detail. And I get some of the reasoning behind why they use smaller bodies and they don't want to waste a lot of garment on bigger bodies. But the reality is that the world, we're a lot bigger than what they're portraying.
Yeah.
wow. Wow, this is deep. So I know that we're running out of time. But I think this is definitely a conversation that we would love to bring you back, Eric, and continue talking about it in another show, because there's a lot to talk about, I think.
Yeah.
So, Maria, do you have any final words while we're wrapping up?
No, thank you so much for being here, Erica. I really enjoyed this
Thank you.
conversation. And yeah, I might even reach out to you because I mentioned to you, I don't know if you heard, I'm president of the Fig Factor Foundation, where we reach out to young
Yes.
girls. So
That's
definitely, I think
awesome.
this would be a great topic of conversation for that group as
I
well.
would love to.
So yeah, thank
Yay,
you so much for introducing us,
awesome.
Jennifer.
Oh,
Thank you,
no, of
Jennifer, so
course.
much.
Of course, my pleasure. Erica, thank you for joining us. Again, Maria, thank you for being our co host for the entire month. You were awesome and great topics of conversation. And for the viewers watching, thank you so much, everyone, for just spending early mornings on a summer day with us. I know people could be sleeping in, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Kids are sleeping in, maybe. But you can definitely learn more about us at womenselfdevelopment.org. You can follow us on our social media handle, Women's Self Development. And then, of course, we have a free Facebook community, Wise Women Support Group, if you guys want to have more topics or just get inspired. And there's so much different stuff in there. So follow us. Any final words, Erica, that you wanted to share?
Sure. I just want to remind everybody that, we're all beautiful in our own way. And it, even the next person, whether that's your closest friend or your partner or a parent figure, your beauty is not, they are not the one to determine how beautiful you are or you're not. So just look inside yourself and learn to love yourself, to the fullest, because we're all beautiful in our own way.
Thank you so much, Erica. Thank you, ladies, for jumping on wise words from wise women here. And thank you, Ellie, Mary, Maribel, everyone watching. We appreciate you guys. And you guys have a fabulous rest of your week.
Thank you. You
Bye,
too.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.